What a performance Kylian Mbappe gave last night. A hat-trick at the Santiago Bernabeu in the most important game of the season to date for Madrid. Whether it was his dribbling, finishing, movement, or even celebrations, everything was on point for Mbappe. In this video, we will be analysing this masterclass and truly understanding how Mbappe ripped apart City's backline. If we take a look at the first goal, at full speed it seems very simple, but when we look closely we can see the amount of detail in it. Once the Madrid centre-back receives the ball, he looks at Mbappe immediately. This eye contact is very important because since he looks at Mbappe, Mbappe knows that now the centre-back is looking to play to him. He then starts to slowly creep forward, which signals to the centre-back that he is ready for the ball in behind. Then, notice how when he's running in behind, his eye is always looking at the ball. Many players put their heads down and sprint as fast as they can behind, but don't end up tracking the ball efficiently, but Mbappe does, and this allows him to get into a good position. Then, as the ball bounces, he manages to sneak in a little scan. This scan is so important because now he knows Ederson is off his line, and all he needs to do is chip it over, which he ends up doing perfectly. In this play we can see Mbappe's intelligence. As the ball bounces to Dias, Mbappe realises he isn't going to win the header, so instead of still trying to challenge for it, he backs up to try and win the second ball. This is very intelligent because if Dias had wanted to head to it this midfielder, then Mbappe would have been in that space to close him down and win the ball, or maybe would have even intercepted the header. The centre-backs are almost always going to win the header over Mbappe, so doing this can confuse them and keep another player to defend behind the ball. Here, Mbappe's understanding almost results in a Madrid goal. As Vini receives the ball here, we can see there is space in behind for Mbappe to run. Most players make this run, but Mbappe doesn't in this scenario. This is because he knows Vini is looking to go one-on-one and beat his defender, so he knows by staying inside, he gives Vini the freedom and space to attack down the line if he wants to. Also, he knows Dias will cheat towards Vini for cover, as it's very difficult to defend Vini alone one-on-one, so now Mbappe is in space himself, at the top of the box. However, Vini doesn't play it and instead beats his man, so now Mbappe is looking to get onto the cross. Notice how he doesn't move until the moment Vini is about to cross the ball. This is because at that moment the defenders who are marking will be looking at the ball to see where they should be to block it, so Mbappe moves at this same time and gets onto the inside of this defender where he almost receives the cross for a tap-in. He does something similar in this play, but notice what he does. He first acts like he's running in behind, and this results in Dias tracking back as fast as possible as he knows the danger of Mbappe's speed. But Mbappe then stops and cuts back. This creates so much space as Dias is scared of the run behind and allows Mbappe to be very open. Then he's able to receive and doesn't have much support, and is outnumbered, so he takes a shot and wins a corner. Another thing we can also see here is the maturity of Mbappe's game. As he gets the ball, notice how he's double-teamed. A lot of players try to force it and still dribble in these scenarios, even though there is no space to attack and little chance of success. Mbappe understands that this, and also the fact that he's double-teamed, means that there will be more space for one of his teammates, which is Valverde in this case, so he plays it back and keeps possession. Even though he is one of the best players in the world at dribbling, he knows that sometimes it's smart not to force it. On this play we can see Vini ends up in the middle and dribbling full speed into the space. Mbappe moves wide to the left wing for a couple of reasons, instead of staying on the same vertical line as Vini and making a run in behind. The first is there is no one there, so if Mbappe stays central, all City has to do is force Vini wide to the left and will slow down the attack. The second is to create space for Vini, as he knows Vini will want to attack the space, and if he stays central, he'll be occupying the space. The third is even if he did make a vertical run, it is very difficult to play a pass and it would likely be a chip, which means the defenders can have time while the ball's in the air to close down Mbappe. Vini ends up playing it wide for Mbappe, and notice how he attacks Dias. He approaches him with pace, which is always good, as defenders will usually be standing still, so attacking with momentum means it'll be easier to burst past them. However, there isn't much space to go, so then Mbappe does step-overs. A lot of people think doing step-overs is only to fake the defender out, but it's also to freeze the defender. We can see as Mbappe starts his step-overs, Dias freezes a little, as he doesn't know when Mbappe is going to go. Then we can also see his body is cheating more towards the line, so Mbappe sharply cuts in and creates a space. He quickly looks up to see where he can pass to instead of dribbling with his head down and is able to stop Valverde. He almost plays a perfect pass for a tap-in, but it is well defended. We can see how all these little things Mbappe is doing have certain reasons behind them and allow him to create danger. A moment he does decide to run in behind is shown here. This is because Bellingham is not running at the defender to attack, as he's not moving very fast and is instead looking forward for a pass. We can also see the City right-back is focused on Jude, and there is space for a run, so Mbappe attempts the run, but it's cut out well. He always decides when to make his runs based on his teammates' decisions and movements, and if he believes it's a good moment, like on this play, he'll make the run. Once again here we can see as Tchouaméni receives the ball, Mbappe runs in behind. Tchouaméni is a player who doesn't like to dribble and prefers to pass, so Mbappe knows he'll be looking for his run. Also, the City line is very high, which means there is space in behind to exploit, and this City defender has his eyes focused on Tchouaméni. Since he isn't aware of Mbappe, he runs from one centre-back to the blind side of another on a diagonal. This is because if he ran vertically, then Dias would be closer to him and able to close him down. But by running into the space behind the other centre-back, he can use more of his speed to receive it in more space while also running away from Dias. Then, if we skip forward a little, we can see that the keeper stays on his line and Dias has closed the space, so Mbappe hits it with power instead of placement, as he's further out at a tough angle, so a placed shot or chip wouldn't likely beat the keeper. If we take a look at his second goal, we can see a complete masterclass from Mbappe. First, as Vini is dribbling down the line, notice how he is one-on-one in the box and there is so much space to run into. But instead he moves to the other side of the defender. This is because he looks and sees Rodrigo running in and knows that if he pulls the defender wide, Rodrigo will be wide open in space to have a shot. Vini ends up playing Rodrigo, and then the defender steps to him, so Rodrigo is then able to play Mbappe. Now, he is in a good spot to have a shot, but he is being forced towards the near post, with the keeper there and Gvardiol rushing to block the shot. Instead, he chops inside, as he knows Gvardiol will be fully committed to blocking the shot. But notice when he chops, it's a diagonal chop. This is the most important thing because it allows him to continue moving forward and have space to get a shot off. If he chopped 90 degrees, then Mbappe would have been moving sideways and this player could have easily blocked the shot, but he does a perfect chop and scores. The way Mbappe receives the ball is also something worth looking at. When receiving in tight pockets, we'll typically see Mbappe receive with the sole and then burst and attack like he does here. The reason why this is so effective for him is by receiving the ball like this, he essentially stops, but his foot is still in the air and doesn't touch the ground, so he can burst more quickly with his next touch as he does here. Usually players receive the ball, then put their foot down, and then burst, but Mbappe, by using his sole, can receive and burst very swiftly. Like we just said, Mbappe's key to his dribbling and play style is a change of speed, and we can see that in effect here. Rodrigo plays the ball in behind, and Mbappe makes the run into space. Then notice how when he gets to the ball, he slows down. This makes the City defender also slow down, but then he does a quick step over and accelerates. He knows that slowing the City defender down will mean it'll be a battle of acceleration now, and he has one of the fastest acceleration speeds in all of football. The City defender can't keep up, and then Mbappe drives inside and plays a very dangerous cross to Vini. Thank you for watching the video, and I hoped you all learned something new today. Make sure to like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts below.